if you're considering, if you're in a marriage or a relationship and then you're considering divorce, just listen to this video. Number one, it's pride. You see, the spirit of pride there can destroy anything. No matter how mighty you are, immediately you start adding pride. Pride can destroy a mighty man. Pride can destroy anything. Pride can destroy everything. You see, people might be liking you. Pride can kill a relationship. Pride can destroy marriage. Pride can destroy family, full family. Pride can destroy. Now, number two, the spirit of power tussle. Like, you know, some men in their marriages, they oppress their wives. They are not placing their wives as a wife. They place their wife as a slave. Like anything. Wives don't even have a say in the house. Like everything, I'm a man. I'm the head of the house. I'm the head of the house. And this is my house. This is my house. You understand? Sometimes this particular one mostly comes from the men. This spirit mostly is activated in the minds of the men. For no reason, the spirit will be there making you to make your partner to feel less of herself, right? And most times, some people cannot carry this kind of life. They will be looking at you thinking, oh, I'm just coming to this marriage to come and be a slave while I had my own life before we met. Some people will not be able to push, and then it will lead to marriage tearing apart. Then the number three, unforgiveness. You see this number three? Unforgiveness is the worst thing that can happen to a marriage. You'll be digging at what happened 10 years ago, 3 years ago, and they will deal with it today. Constantly reminding somebody about what they did years ago. This brings divorce in marriage. Let me tell you, it brings divorce in marriage. This is a spirit of unforgiveness. It destroys marriage. Then number four, the spirit of Jezebel. You see this particular spirit I'm talking about, oh my God, is heavy in this generational marriage, this particular generation we are now. This particular spirit of Jezebel is heavy in marriages, both this in the men and in the women. See, this particular spirit is the spirit that did not allow you to be contented with your spouse. As a man, especially Africa, you people said we are Africans, we are entitled to so many women, so many wives. Fine, if you want to get married, but at least you need to seek your wife's consent before you bring in another wife or another wife. This is very, very necessary. Then you will see in a situation whereby a man is not ready to marry two wives. They are not ready to marry, even the ones that had two wives. This is what they do nowadays. After you keep a wife at home, now the spirit of Jezebel will now come into you and your wife. The spirit of Jezebel is the spirit that is making you to want other female outside. The spirit of Jezebel is a very powerful feminine spirit that when it comes close to a man, it subdues a man into zero, into nothing. That the only thing that will come into your brain is how online searching for adult videos, watching, and then at that point you say, let me go and change oil. I will not be eating okra alone. The only spirit that is driving you to do that is the spirit of a Jezebel. It has reduced you to nothing. The spirit of Jezebel will also make you to be using to the toilet and bancha. You understand? We really need to touch every angles of every situation. The disadvantage behind what you're doing now is because each time you masturbate and you ejaculate, you create a spirit. This is it. You create a spirit waiting for a body to possess. Now, most times, the spirit you created is either you create a female spirit, a feminine spirit, or a masculine spirit. And then, in a situation whereby those spirits are waiting around you, and unfortunately, your wife, maybe you want to, your wife conceive, those spirits that you have, you did ejaculation and you stored somewhere, will just come. One of them will come and enter. You understand? Even if the child also has his or her own spirit, the baby your wife is carrying, then that particular spirit you have kept somewhere, waiting, lingering for years, for months, will just come and enter. That is when you see that when you have a child, your child sometimes they are imbeciles. You will see that they have autism, they have different kinds of diseases that they are uncurable, because these things are caused by the spirits that you have released. Now I want to tell you that it's a spiritual act. Don't see it as a fun. It's a spiritual act. Now, where the spirit comes from, they don't care about the thing you're doing. What they actually care about is the energy around what you're doing, because there is power there. That is in what you are doing. It's a spiritual assignment. It is spiritual. Making a child is spiritual. Let's use our brain. That is why I used to tell people, each time you feel the urge of having an intercourse, what you should do at that point, quiet time, and ask God for that money. Now I get aroused, and at this point, not necessary at this point, what you should do, get hold of yourself, go to a corner, pray to God, tell God, look at me, this is this condition I am now. God should answer your prayer. This is the amount of money you want, this is the kind of business you want. Do this prayer each time you feel this particular urge, and you don't have a partner, you're not married, your partner is not there to help even when you're married. So this is what you should do it, pray to God, and you will see that those prayers you made at that point, any point that you are in the mood, you will realize that those prayers are well answered, because there is a power behind activities. So guys, shalom, I will see you guys in my next video for more knowledge.